Hey y'all, what's going on? It is Barb Meets World, and guess who is here with me today to discuss Married to Medicine's reunion part 1.
You mean California cutie?
So happy to be discussing this with my good sis because, honey, there was a lot of stuff that we need to talk about. And, I always love to hear everybody else's thoughts and opinions and things and stuff like that. So I know she has some good stuff to say. I know I have some good stuff to say. Yeah. But before we get into that, y'all already know I need you to do a couple things. We need you to do a couple things for us, which include liking the video. We are streaming from both of our channels. I'm also streaming on X. I'm streaming on, if you're catching us on TikTok, hi, come on over here to YouTube. Hit the subscription buttons, hit the like buttons, comment in the comment section, share us with your people. Make sure that you turn on your notification bell so you know every time we do make an upload. Do all of the things, y'all, because honey, we got some good content for you. Duh.
For sure.
Throw up our banner. Boom. So you can follow us on all of our social media channels that are scrolling along the bottom. And yeah, let's jump right into it because there's a lot to talk about. What did you think about this part 1? It's part 1 of 3. What did you think about part 1?
Part 1. What did Simone walk in saying? DOA?
Oh yeah.
Day of accountability.
Sure. Pot beat kettle.
I was right. I was just saying that, and then it just is the hypocrisy and so many things that's gonna happen. But as far as as far as it's concerned, let's be clear. I was entertained. Let's be clear. I'm always entertained when it comes to the ladies, certain things. It's gonna be 3 parts. We already seen some of the meat and potatoes that we're gonna get. So with this being the first part, I'm gonna give it a good 7. I'll give it about a 7 because it's still a lot to unravel. We just scratching the surface.
I think I can agree to that. I'll give it like a 7, between 7 and 7.5. There's with the 3-parters, it's always going to be one that's one or two. There's always going to be a good chunk out of the 3 that is just kind of like, okay, those moments where is a little bit less than exciting, or that's when you get a lot of that back and forth and it's kind of like hard to follow sometimes. It's a lot going on. So there were some high points, there was a couple like low points, but for pretty much the majority of it, yes, I can say I was engaged. I wasn't breaking away looking at my phone or anything like that. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I am sorry I did not even say hello to all the people in here. What's going on, Princess? Hi. We also have LaDonna in here. Hey, what's going on? And of course, Ken's. Hi. Love to see it. Yes, y'all.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate it every time.
We really do.
Because it's really like almost an impromptu. That's why it's only a little.
It was. I was going to come to y'all this morning with a pre-record, and then I was just like, I feel like doing a little bit of collab situation with my sis. Let me see if she's free. You were free, and it just worked so beautifully. So thank you guys for joining us here. And if you're just dropping in, again, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things on both channels, on all the platforms, everything. And yeah. Oh,
hey, Sweet Tea. Yeah, before we jump all the way in. Hey, Sweet Tea.
I know. Because look, y'all should. Just based on that, y'all already know we're excited to talk about this. So yeah, part one of the reunion. First things first, we already know Phaedra wasn't going to be there. Right. Phaedra decided she was over it. She got her Real Housewives of Atlanta contract in probably, and she was like, deuces, I'm not even going to waste any time popping up on y'all. So we have that. Also, as the ladies were making their way to the stage, This is the first thing that pissed me off. Other than Simone lacking accountability, this is the first thing that pissed me off. So for whatever reason, we had Letitia, Sweet Tea, Lipton, Mrs. Dunsford, whatever you want to call her. Yeah, we had that person. I mean, shout outs to the diva Erica De Niro TV, because
we love her.
This is her sweatshirt. So y'all go hit her link. Protect your energy. Yes. And then this is my hat. So you can get
love both. I love both products. I love them both so much.
She is the one that coined the name the Dunsfords, and I can't see it any other way now. But yeah, for whatever reason, she thought it was going to be the best in her best interest to say, "Ooh, when is Quad coming out? Ooh, yeah, I want to come out last. I want to come out after her."
Me and my sister, same person. Me and my sister are the same person. Girl, who you? And then the smile she put, the smile she put, I want to be the last one. Like, girl, get out of here.
No,
you didn't make an entrance. You didn't make an entrance. Your outfit was not hidden. Girl, you didn't do nothing. I was just like, this is the setup for what we're going to get out of you. You're going to be a little bit on, not 10, because that wasn't 10, but the fact that you think that you saying something, you think you're doing something, you think you're running a show, you think you're coming in on your second season running something. Girl, if you don't go sit your little...
It was just audacity for me, like thinking that you was about to really turn heads and break necks. And I don't know, you never know with production, stuff like that, whether or not that was their true reaction. But the reaction that the ladies had when she came out there was definitely underwhelming from what we saw. So girl, like you could have saved all that energy for your clapbacks that fell flat as well. Anyway, so that was just one thing I wanted to bring up, y'all. Hey, Auntie Bernice is in the chat as well. Again, we want to hear what you got. Like, y'all put your ratings in the chat. Let us know what you thought of this part 1 out of 10. If you're watching this on TikTok, y'all do the same. If you're watching on X, all the places, y'all. Just let us know what you thought of this episode. But yeah, so first things first, again, Phaedra's not there. They play this unseen Phaedra like confessionals, because we know that Phaedra is a notorious confessional gangster when it comes to, not saying things to people's face. She's always going to say it in confessional though. And so in said confessionals, she called the ladies trash, demonic minions of hell, mean, angry Black women who are mean to other Black women, fat, funny looking. She's happy to be leaving, and she's ecstatic to be on this departure. So of course the ladies were taken aback. Like they're like, whoa, that was a little much. And just as fast as Simone pisses me off, she does actually make a good point here when she said, of all people, Simone or Phaedra is one to talk because she's the main person that has dropped it super low. And when it comes to presenting and doing things that are trashy, they haven't done nearly the amount that she's done in the past. So for me, I'm like, Simone, you get on my nerves, but shout outs to you in that moment, because y'all, if you guys watch The Real Housewives of Atlanta, if you guys are familiar with Phaedra, then you already know the types of things that Simone was referring to. Can they be mean girls on this show? Most definitely. But takes one to know one is how I look at it. And again, I don't see them doing anything that is beyond anything that Phaedra has done, that is as deep as what Phaedra has done, throwing out, allegations on certain people and stuff like that. Like she's done some real foul stuff. So let me just stop there real quick, and I want to know your opinion on that, on what she said and their response and everything.
We're almost at the 10-minute mark. Okay. Can you let me read? Let's read. Thank you, Bernice.
I'm scared.
Yeah, you should be. I just want to cut this real quick, but I'm gonna let. Hey, Auntie,
y'all know she's not used to this type of attention. She is a sheep in a land of wolves.
Hello.
Tia and Phaedra made the season because without them, what would the season be about? I'll wait. Anti.
They gave us some other stuff to talk about. I ain't gonna say they made it, but I know I can see where where you going with Sweet Tea, but definitely not Phaedra. But I see because we were on our heels thinking like, ooh, what's gonna happen with her, Apollo, and then Shireen, and then Shed. It was a lot. So I kind of see where you're going with it, but I literally still feel like, I mean, it still go the same way. It is Quad. If it wasn't for Quad and Sweet Tea's, what they have going on, not, I mean, Gregory, all the whole little that's what to me carried the whole season. So, but as far as it comes to Phaedra's scary bitch ass, let's be clear, girl. I'm gonna need you to stay out. I'm gonna need you to stay from right where I'm at, behind this screen, talking that ish. Like, oh, I can't because they trash and they whoop. Girl, who you talking to? Put a name on it. Hashtag it. You seeing all that? You want them to be worried about, oh, I know she ain't talking about me. Oh, I know she ain't talking. Well, who she talking to? Sound like she talking to the whole cast. So y'all all should be offended. And I would have wore her out. First of all, not there. I'd have got behind my screen. Not here. I ain't gonna do it right here. Not here on TV. Yeah, let's be clear. We're not gonna do it there. We gonna show you. And I'm gonna dare you to show your stupid face in Atlanta. Let me run into you. Let me see who you're talking about. Put a name on it. Because that's stupid for you to say some things about some doctors. And let's be clear, we've been watching them. They're still human. Let's be clear. We are flawed. But for you to call them trash, what? What are you? Who on that show is trash? Are you talking about Dr. Gregory's, your friends, your homeboy, your homeboy's wife, new wife? Is that what you talking about? Because everybody else on there, ain't nobody on there trash. And it sure was befitting. I mean, it was, you skedaddled your ass over there to go sit with trash. You went over there and laid with the trash.
But wait, wasn't this the same lady that said, had I been around these ladies back in the day, I probably would still be married, and was basically like whispering sweet nothings? I feel like up until this point when she got outed for knowing something and trying to flip it on another person. I want to know who up there is ugly and fat too, because I don't like, even though I don't see it for Letitia and stuff like that, like I still wouldn't say like she's not ugly, and not ugly and fat. I don't know who she was exactly referring to when she said these things, and I'm still trying to also figure out how, again, you had so much to say now that you got, your peach back or whatever, because just a couple episodes before this, you were, you were all fine with the get down when it was going in your favor. And I feel like that also speaks to what Apollo said earlier on the season, when he said that, or on the trip, I guess that was when he said that she basically likes to be the big dog. And in this situation, she was, she couldn't come in and flex and be how she normally would be when she's around people that she, I guess, deems more inferior to her and her accolades and stuff like that. So honestly, if it was me, I actually wouldn't even be phased. I actually would have asked to skip this part. Like, I wouldn't even gave her that much attention and satisfaction, because unfortunately the ladies, they kind of do look I don't want to say dumb, but they do kind of look slightly foolish, because, you guys were over here wasting time and energy on this lady, and kind of like, I feel like putting her in a position to kind of make y'all look a little crazy and stuff like that. So at the same time, I wouldn't even gave them 5 minutes to discuss this. I would be like, okay, next. Like, I wouldn't even gave it a reaction or anything like that. Like, you're not gonna, she used y'all to, to gain back her relevancy, to get on our screen, stuff like that. And when it was befitting for her to make her grand exit and go back to the actual platform that she wanted to be on all along, she did just that. So I wouldn't even gave her 5 more minutes of camera time or anything like that. Like Simone holding up that thing, like we wouldn't have done any of that. It'd be like, oh, okay, cute, bye.
Let's be clear. Nobody wanted you, Phaedra. Still, let's be clear. Candy, the only reason why you're over there is because Candy stepped down. the candy was still sitting right there. Your ass would not be sitting up there, babe. Nobody would have. And let's be clear, they was scratching and scrounging for somebody when Kenya had to leave. So let's be clear, girl. You the same way you use and abuse them, the same way you do, they doing you. So let's be clear. That's why you don't get to get off unscathed. She thinks she is getting off unscathed because she thinks, oh, I ain't got to show up to their reunion. I'm gonna say what I gotta say and I'm done. Keep that same energy when I see you, though.
And I really need to know who at production, like, I'm the last person to say that a woman is spreading their legs to, you know, gain a leg up in the workplace or anything like that. I would never just throw out that out there, but what is it about her? What is it about her that she is able to move and finesse and maneuver her way in and out of these situations and stuff like that, and not have to speak on, again, she chopped back on Atlanta. I highly doubt anybody's gonna bring up, you know, what happened last time we seen her on the show and stuff like that. She just doesn't have to ever be held accountable, I feel like. And this is another show of that, where you were able to skip out on the reunion, bash one Bravo show, go back onto the other one. Like, who are you buddy with at that network so much so that they just see it for you so much? I'm not understanding it.
And don't you feel like the new beef that's going on right now probably is stemming from her too? Because you see how the row of girls is going, not going against, but they're like, no, I never, I never had nothing bad to say. Then we should all be kumbaya and all that. Like, literally, we never had that until Phaedra flip-flopped it. Like, literally, like, I'm almost blaming you for doing that, because this has never happened. But now we did that. It's weird. Literally, we never had that until Phaedra flip-flopped it. Like, literally, like, I'm almost blaming you for doing that, because this has never happened. But now we did that. It's weird. That's crazy.
She had some, she was talking bad about Atlanta a little bit too. I want to say on like a red carpet too, before she went back there. So it's just like, she just be just saying whatever and doing whatever. And I really need to know, like, who she has in her pocket, or is she like using her professional image to her advantage? Is she saying like she can only be portrayed a certain way? Like, what is it that she is able to just to move like this? It's crazy to me. Come, they were Sun and Phaedra talking about her money, and then Apollo the Hellion can call people and talk about people's unalived moms. I again, that's why I said before that, yeah, they may be mean girls. I'm not gonna act like, so these ladies on this cast haven't done some mean things. They definitely haven't. I think we'll kind of get more into that as we move through this first part of this reunion. But I just think that Phaedra definitely has her things about her, and for some odd reason, like I keep saying, it goes unchecked. And
I don't think they were talking about her money. I think she talked about her own money, and they just held her feet to it, because clearly when they was doing the fundraising, she's the one that came up with the bigger number that they came up with. And then when they said, well, it's a little too big, oh no, we can do it because I got it, even if I have to put it on myself. So she did that. That's not them. Now what they did do was hold her feet to the fire and say, look, where's the money? You said you had it and we need it, so bring us some money. But as far as because those ladies, they don't, now they will come for somebody. I guess I see what Angie's saying, because they will try to be like, well, you ain't a doctor, so unless your husband makes as much money as those doctors, they will be looking kind of looking down at you, and they did it to Heavenly. Like, oh, you just a dentist. Like, just a dentist? She got her own practice. Let's be clear, you're putting just on it like there's something beneath y'all, and it's not. So yeah, I see what you're saying, but I feel like Phaedra put her own money in her own mouth.
You know what else I was confused about? Speaking of jobs and stuff like that, Simone the first thing she said was like, you know, we all have fantastic salaries and I love my job. I was kind of confused. What did she? I don't get, huh? What was she mean by that? I don't know. It just didn't seem like it matched. That wasn't the right matching answer to what was said prior to that. I was so confused.
I think me and you are sharing our brain at this point because every little
just
thing that
so
I
random.
heard, you heard it, and I was like, huh? Why
It was so random to me.
And
And
it
then
wasn't like we love our job, we love our occupation, we love what we do, and we make good money doing it. It wasn't like that. It was like the way she put the words that she said, it was weird.
fantastic salaries, huh? Okay. I was just so confused. But then we have Heavenly speaking on what I believe Phaedra's real issue was as well, which is that she tried to play Apollo and she in return got played. And we also know that Shireen has filed for divorce and that whole thing. I don't really care, but whatever. And Quad says yes, because sometimes things just don't work out. And we saw the person doesn't change. They just swap out the women, but the person, the person don't change, which I mean, I caught what she meant by that. I caught the underlying message who that can apply to as well in that group there. And then again, that's when Andy asked Simone to impersonate Phaedra while holding up this cardboard mask or whatever. I thought that was stupid.
And she said the same thing she had already said. That's why he said, you ain't gonna get no Emmy on that one. I was like, well, why do you even ask her?
so random. And then y'all, hey Yvette, what's going on? Simone makes my coochie hairs itch whenever she talks and starts yelling. Hashtag use your inside voice. Yes, I don't know how I hope he gets his ears checked quarterly because honey. Okay. And then y'all, they move on into playing Quad's package. And when doing so, Napa is, of course, brought up yet again. And I'm hoping after this season, we don't have to talk about Napa anymore. But Quad wants to keep moving past what has transpired between her and Simone, because at this moment, they are cool enough, right? And Simone, on the other hand, she still doesn't think that she owes Quad an apology over the Napa situation. And she also has an issue with Quad not telling them about King earlier. Or Quad not telling them about King earlier. So let me just stop right there and ask. So how do we feel about that, y'all? Does Simone owe Quad an apology about Napa? If you guys think that she owes an apology, then put a 1 in the chat. If you don't feel like Quad is owed an apology about Napa, then put a 2 in the chat. I would love to know. And in the meantime, what say you?
Yeah, she's owed an apology. You don't get me all the way to California when I live in Atlanta. You bring me to California just to tell me, I think the girls, us girls, we just gonna ask you to leave. Like, yeah, no, that's embarrassing, and you do owe me an apology. And especially when you gonna tell me that everybody wasn't on board, which is a damn lie, because then nobody say nothing. But we'll get to it when it happens. But you owe her an apology. You know what? And again, when we get to it, she even says, I didn't even realize I said it. Bitch, what? Girl, that just on you saying that lets me know that you owe this girl an apology, because that you basically said, I didn't even realize I had said that. I didn't. So did you mean it or you didn't? Or you just, by the time you said it, you was like, shoot, I didn't take my power. I'm not about to take it back. What power? It's not even power. Whatever you was thinking you was doing. Yeah, she's owed an apology. Yes, I think so. And let's be clear, it could have been a misunderstanding. Like she said, y'all all came at me at one time or another and said something to me, and I did what Phaedra didn't do. I took it all, and then you asked me to leave. Like y'all could have did that on FaceTime. Y'all could have FaceTime me on that.
Yes. Not y'all could FaceTime me. No, I definitely agree. And I feel like that's the major issue here, is that for some odd reason, they just never want to start at the beginning of things. And I feel like the fact of the matter is, like, Simone, because in that same breath, Simone said, she didn't even know it was coming out of her mouth. She speaks from the heart. Girl, what? I was so confused. So you didn't even know, you just, what, the spirit of kicking people off of trips came over you, and it was just speaking through you. You didn't, you that, huh? What does that even mean? And I do feel like also in that same breath, going back to King and her and Quad not speaking on her relationship until she saw it fit. I agree with that as well, because Simone, you can't seem to understand that on one hand, you acknowledge that you weren't cool enough at that point, because you also chose to not invite her to Whitnick. So that would mean, right, that you guys weren't cool enough to be in each other's business like that, right? Okay, so you understand it enough to not invite her to that, but you don't understand it enough to where on Quad's end, you guys weren't that cool at that time. Why would she feel moved to want to tell you then? I wouldn't. Like, you weren't in her need to know circle at that point. I feel like that shouldn't be hard to understand, especially coming from a person like Simone, who, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I like to think I'm not. Wasn't Simone the same person that didn't invite Jackie to her son's graduation when they weren't so cool at one point?
Mm-hmm.
So you understand it when it benefits you and you not being cool with somebody. But on the flip side, you're sitting here talking about, oh, I've never done anything to Quad that she should feel so secretive or whatever, when every single time I think we have a reunion and random times during the seasons, you just randomly just like will come for Quad or have an issue with Quad out of nowhere. And I need to know what that is rooted upon, other than you seeing something in her or how she leads her life or how she's able to move and groove through life or whatever, without like she's able to just be a free woman, maybe. And maybe that's something that you envy. I don't know. Maybe you envy that she's she was the underdog and became the fan favorite. I don't know what it is, but something is up with her, because she always is gunning for Quad for whatever reason, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Everything you said, like literally, nobody really knows what this love, hate, pull, push relationship that it feels like it's always coming from Simone. I'm not saying that Quad don't play a role. You have to have, it takes two to argue and everything, but I always feel like it's Simone always has came for Quad. It just seems that way to
It's
me.
so weird.
Like it always seems that way. And I mean, like Simone said, Quad's always gave her ass the kiss. I'm like, how? Like, y'all the ones are the doctors. She's the underdog. When did she be like, well, y'all just gonna have to kiss my, like, you literally said something that hurt her feelings to the core. Y'all got past it. But if the shoe was on the other foot, I feel like Simone would still be holding on to that grudge, because clearly she's the grudge holder. Like Simone's the grudge holder.
Show. There's a couple of things that happen on the show that just blows my mind. It makes me think that me and a lot of other people are watching a different show, because, and I'm actually going to bring up some of my favorite tweets of the week or whatever, because that's the only reason why I know that there's some people out there that are watching the same show, but the masses, I don't know what y'all are watching. And I say that knowing and respecting the fact that we all have differences in opinions. That's not what I'm saying here at all, y'all. But when facts are facts, and when a spade is a spade in front of my eyes, I don't see how you're pulling something different out of the hat here. It's a rabbit. Like,
some people just like to go against the grain, sister. There's some people they do it just to do it, just to do it.
I know what it is. I've realized it. It's because y'all have such a great disdain for a person that you allow that to guide and dictate your decision making no matter what. I'm over here, and there's plenty of people that I don't really see it for or whatever. But when it comes to right versus wrong, or a fact versus non-fact, or however you want to put it, I'm going to always tell the truth, not just going to fall back on, oh, because I don't like that person. That's some Giselle shit. That is some Giselle shit from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. Well, I don't like her, so then that means that what she did isn't wrong then, because you don't like her? Or like, what are we talking about here, y'all? Dr. Evans needs to fix daddy teeth. She won't be in everyone else's business. You didn't just fix it. We're gonna. I'll bring all that up at the end.
Much.
Yeah,
it's so much.
It's a lot. It's a lot going on right now, y'all. This show. Oh my gosh. But okay, so Toya also had chimed in to say like she's disturbed that Quad said that they brought her to Napa to kick her off the trip. And this is when Simone says that Quad has been giving them her ass to kiss for years. I feel like I understand where Toya was coming from or trying to come from. But again, in that same breath, okay, who's to say y'all didn't know? Or let's say that y'all didn't know that Simone was going to be the one to give her the axe on the trip. Okay. Well, y'all still in that moment didn't stand up and say, okay, well, I feel differently. Like nobody stood up in her defense either. So that tells me you guys were complicit in it. And when we saw when we played the clips back and stuff like that, I feel like y'all even it was like, oh, you're not having accountability. And you guys might not have said, get the step in. But again, y'all were kind of siding with her not being amongst y'all / you guys were having an issue with how she was, navigating and I guess lacking in accountability. So I feel like as much as I was trying to understand where Tori was coming from, I couldn't agree with it.
Didn't Quad cry? Didn't Quad come in tears?
I want to say yeah.
Or did she wait till she got out back to her room?
I believe
she cried in front of them. Yeah. So yeah, for me to see all those ladies just mum's the word. And let's be clear, Toya, this was your trip. So if anybody could have said anything on the winery Napa trip, it would have been you. So Toya and Jackie, why y'all all? No, I didn't know. Y'all all had to talk about it. Y'all felt away. Maybe y'all trying to stay faith. I mean, trying to keep faith for whatever reason. But they literally should know that y'all had discussions on Quad before she got there. Maybe y'all didn't know that Jackie was. Simone was gonna say what she said. But y'all all in the same room and nobody said. Well, especially Toya, who's very opinionated and don't lie, love to tell the truth. That makes everybody else stand up for the truth. Why you didn't say it's my trip? And she's upset. I wouldn't have wanted that to happen because you were still mad at her, or y'all still knew. Did they know at that time that Greg was even dating Tisha at that time? Probably did. And they didn't know nothing about what was going on in Quad. Not to say that they knew that the girl was going to come on the show. But yeah, I just find it all so, it just seems so cookie cut that they did that. Like y'all like iced her out and then, oh, now Greg and Sweet Tea are back on the show. Oh, well, now we need Quad back because we need her. Like everybody's being used in this. It's like everybody is being like Sweet Tea's like, well, they was using me. They used me. Oh no, they using me for a penny some money. I'm saying, girl, you was using them for a penny some money too, girl, because you want to get on the show and you know you was gonna get paid for it.
Fan.
So you were willing to be used. Sponge. You was willing to do that. So don't try to put it on the girls. Like they just used me, girl. You was willing to use them, and because what the fact that she says that what Toya was instigating them. I'm sorry that I'm jumping around. I'm going ahead of things, but literally, it just makes me mad that you're literally like, well, you were instigating and you were trying to instigate. Girl, what was you coming on there for? You either was coming on there to come at Quad, or you was coming on there to be her friends. Either way, girl, you're dumb. You got paid to look crazy on TV. And they didn't even show the bad parts of you. You better be thanking your lucky stars, girl. Because you got a good at it.
Yes. Did Toya and Quad have a makeup session last season too? Did they have
about what?
I'm asking. I'm trying to.
No, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of what was they because I feel like they was kind of still. They ain't never been really right, even though they apologized when Quad called Eugene Eugenia. They ain't really have been right since that time.
Reunion,
or was that the season before that?
I'm trying to remember.
However, they ain't been the same since that has kind of happened.
Because for me, and we saw that also. I feel like based on how Toya was, even though I get it, she's the one that threw Sweet Tea the bachelorette party, whatever, but ultimately it was her bachelorette party, whatever. So I feel like, actually, I'm not even gonna say that right now. I'm gonna save that for a second when Sweet Tea goes back and forth with Toya. Anyway, okay. What else happened? Quad would have. Oh, Simone saying that Quad gave them her ass to kiss for years. Simone, something tells me this is stemming back to Sister Circle. And what I'm going to need to see in season 12, if I'm going to come down here and talk about it, is us not to bring up Sister Circle no more. That show has been off. And
5 years?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. That's
I did. It was one of my favorite shows. It was during COVID. I would go work out, go walk in, and I would come home and watch them at 9 o'clock on BET or on TV1. It was one of the black girl. That was a good show. And Quad was excellent on the show. She was really, I mean, I was already a Quad fan anyway. I've always been a Quad fan. I've always liked Quad. I like to watch her talk. I'm that type of girl. Or like literally, I don't like when you have like a nice mouth and you like to use your mouth to talk, and then the thing is just like she has pretty teeth. I just like to watch her talk. So for her to get on this talk show, it was cool. So I watched, and I do think it was 2020. I think I actually did. I take a picture of it.
Well, if you said COVID,
I went to look. Either so it was either 2020 or they ended in 2021. But I believe it was May of 2020. Yes, thank you. So yeah. Please stop talking about that because that is so long gone and done and over. Like even I would rather you even say that you met at the party when she waited to the last when y'all thought that she wasn't thanking y'all. She thanked Selena and what was my girl name? Both the girls that were on the show with her Sister Circle. It's like in my head, I'm like, don't you know that she's saving the best for last? Like. We're on the show. They like literally it's a build up. Y'all really think she gonna get on this show on Married to Medicine and not give y'all kudos? Come on now, like y'all, cause y'all looking. It's like sometimes they just been looking for a reason to be mad at Quad. That's how I feel. That's how I've always felt. So yeah, back to what you said. If they're still holding on to Sister Circle, if y'all don't get out of her face with that, that's stupid. That's stupid.
And then Quad says that she would have preferred one-on-ones instead of what appeared to be like a dog pile situation. Okay. She also clarifies the fact that the ladies gave, blanket apologies to save themselves from the back and forth. And it was actually Toya that brought that up originally, saying that they basically gave her blanket apologies because to save themselves from going back and forth. And Toya then proceeds to throw Jackie under the bus by saying that, what did she say? That Jackie didn't want to argue. That's a Jackie trait. And Jackie's like, that laugh.
I get in this.
For real. And I totally agree. Heavenly, on the other hand, she's been adamantly saying that she has apologized to Quad and she's been nothing but sincere. And I even presently know based on what Heavenly has said in her lives and stuff like that, they're cool. They still talk like every day or so, whatever. So I do believe that apology was sincere and well received. Everybody else, for that matter, I don't think so. Simone shouts that she's never done anything to Quad to where she needs to be so secretive. I already said that. And one of the viewers actually wrote in and said, well, you wanted me some, you want to meet the king, you best get right with the queen. And I mean, yes, was that kind of theatrical? Yes, of course. And of course, Quad played into it. But I understand the sentiment behind it, which is, again, if we're not cool like that, I am not gonna introduce you to my freaking electrician. I'm not gonna introduce you to anybody. The person who freaking washes my windows. Like I am not going to introduce you to anybody in my life, no matter how big or small their role is in my life, if we're not cool like that. And again, that's why I gave that example before when it comes to Simone, when it's like, you understand it when it applies to you, but when it applies to anybody else, i.e. Quad for that matter, it's not clicking. I feel like it's honestly been the other way around, where you like give her your ass to kiss or whatever. And because we have to remember, y'all, like, they don't even, Quad's not the only person that doesn't talk to them often outside of the show or whatever. There's that, not everybody on every show keeps in constant communication with their other castmates when they're off of the show or whatever. But for some odd reason, I feel like that's been a justification for a couple of them, Simone, when it comes to saying stuff like, oh, Quad gives us her ass to kiss and stuff like that. Like, if it has anything to do with talking outside the show or not knowing certain stuff or whatever, I feel like that can apply to a lot of other people, especially like Toya for that matter. I want to say Heavenly said specifically Toya be like kind of off doing her own thing or whatever when they're not filming completely. So why is it that everything applies to y'all when it benefits y'all, but when it applies to Quad, it's like, no, ma'am, absolutely not. To include y'all bringing, y'all thinking it was cool to bring on her ex-husband's new wife. Y'all understood that when it
just bringing on the ex-husband. To be clear,
y'all understood
the ex-wife is the extra. Like, you're bringing on somebody y'all know put their hands on her. They put their hands on each other, but literally they divorced, and it was tumultuous. Is that a word? How you say it? Tumultuous. Yeah. And so, with that being said, like, did y'all put y'all? Everybody's been saying it on the internet, or anybody that can think for themselves, can understand that the ladies all have been through something that they would not want that person to be in their face. Whether it was Jackie with the lady that was supposed to be in the Dominican Republic with her husband. If it was Tammy, the girl best friend to Cecil, you see what I'm saying? And then Contessa with her stuff and her husband. Like, literally everybody has their own thing, but everybody like forgets or don't want to bring their stuff up. But let me tell you about your stuff, and we're gonna continue to bring it up. Oh yeah, because and for no reason. Like, literally, I was like, oh, because I don't even have a reason. I can't even say because this is what it is. It's just, I guess it's convenient for them. It's just easy. And we're still hanging out with Greg off season. The women all knew. They set her up for a big fall. See,
what I picked up is that the men didn't hang out with Greg off the season. And if that was the case, we've only seen Greg, from what I recall, we've only ever seen him like one other time outside of, currently being on the cast and stuff like that. If that was the case, we would have been seeing him, I feel like, every which way we turned and stuff. But instead, we didn't until it was convenient to bring him back or whatever to get back again.
I think two things can be true. I think maybe not all the men. Greg was hanging off season. He had to be hanging with somebody in that crew, in that group, for them to want to even think about, even with him dating, him finding a woman. Like, literally, do you think Andy and the producers like, hey, Greg, what you got going on? Or do you think that he was hanging out with Cecil?
No, I think
he was hanging out with somebody.
It would have been cool, maybe here, and they've seen each other here and there, but no, to be like they was really hanging out, like really friends. Like, no, that's not what it gives whatsoever. And I feel like that's even the reason why it's weird that he's even here. Like, And again, it speaks to that even with how everything crumbled during the last leg of the season, where it's like, oh, I feel like they've been less than support or whatever. Because if you guys were really truly friends for real, then they wouldn't have had an issue tiptoeing around telling you that that you filing those charges or whatever was some bitch ass shit. They wouldn't have had a problem saying that, and they wouldn't have had a problem also, I feel like, just they would have moved differently had they really had some true friendship.
Yeah, real friendship. I mean, because I'm still thinking they probably did. Because even when they had to play into the camera. But even when they brought Sweet Tea on, like it was like not Jackie, Simone's first time meeting him. But I kind of feel like I do feel like Greg and Cecil talked more. Maybe they not hung out, but maybe they kept in touch. And when they found out that, oh yeah, like I still keep in touch with Greg. And then they're like, oh, how's he doing? Oh, he's dating actually. And then, like that. I don't see it more like you said, like the word hangout is not, I don't think it was hanging out, but keep in touch, see how he's doing, call him every now and again. Yeah, I can see that. And I only see it with Cecil. I don't see it with Dr. Damon. Oh, wait, him and Dr. Damon was doing business together. So that's
a work relationship. And did that spark since he's been back on the show, or was that going on?
Yeah, but because I just remembered that
he just had transitioned some years ago, right, from the hospital to pain management, his own like little thing or whatever. So I don't know when that even started being. I just they don't even.
I don't know whose idea that was, but everybody got used. I'm sorry. Greg got used, TJ got used,
what they expected to happen, which is for Quad to blow up. Really, we've seen fucking Greg blow up. That's who blew up. Let's be honest. The only reason the ladies flipped and changed about Quad is the backlash from fans. I don't see the show succeeding with Quad and Greg on the show. I do think, yes, the backlash that they got was a part of them being like, okay, well, yeah, this is clearly not working. Let's try to act like we didn't play a part in this and just kind of move it along. And now, let's remove the chess piece, which the main chess piece, which was Sweet Tea. Let's move her out and move Quad back in. Yeah, I definitely do see that. However, I don't see the show succeeding with Greg. I take Quad doesn't need to go anywhere, in my opinion. Greg, on the other hand, him and his wife have no reason to be on the show. They don't. Hey, cousin.
Hey, cousin.
What else? So, then a viewer calls out or brings up how Sweet Tea is always calling like Quad jealous and saying that that Quad wants, Greg and everything. And she's just jealous because she has something that she used to have that she wants, whatever. And Sweet Tea actually does admit that they don't know each other well enough to have any issues. She claims Quad was going on a press tour to battle her, etc. This is what I mean. Who are we watching the same show? Because last time I checked, Quad didn't go on nobody's press tour. If anybody went on anything that's even synonymous with the press tour, if you're meeting, just speaking in a public forum, i.e. getting your ass up on your YouTube channel every week or whatever, and going and talking with the Buffys and Mariah's, whoever, about Quad and fashioning so many different parts of your life after Quad, down to not even moving the fucking furniture out of your house that she had in that house when she lived in that house. If there's anybody here that's jealous of anybody, it's definitely you, mama, because you're giving I watched this show and I'm going to come in and give this man what he like. Even you saying I'm going to give you what you want means that you watched the show to know that this man wanted a baby. Otherwise, how would you have known that? How are you guys? I don't know, not y'all, but y'all over there. How are y'all not seeing that? This lady is a weirdo, and it's giving fan, and it's giving you don't have a place here for real. She should have never been invited into the fold, her or her husband.
Nope.
And you're saying that you don't know each other well enough. Thank you for admitting that, because just in the same breath, then you turn around and call her. What did she say? Oh, I think that you're fake and stuff like that. On one hand, you're saying you don't know her for real, but you have all these opinions, which means either you're lying, straight up lying, or you're taking what your husband has told you.
That's what she sounded like when she called her a Beverly Hillbilly, because you from Memphis. I said, girl, shut up.
The last person that needs to talk
up, because even with her accent, she still enunciates and it don't sound country bunking. No,
it's giving
to my country cousins, because I have cousins in the country. Don't do that.
Southern Belle, and I got plenty of family. That's all my family's from down south. So please spare me with any of that. Two different aesthetics here, mama. So
I think Greg is setting her up too, sister. I think Greg is setting her up too. He's all in her ear. He knows she's young and impressionable. He's just like a little bitty sponge, whatever, and especially that's my husband. Oh yeah, give it to me so I can have. In her mind, she's like, yep, he's telling me all the stuff that he can tell me about Quad. He can't tell you much. He really can't tell you much. He's the one that looks foolish. You married the foolish one. Quad is not the foolish one in that couple dynamic. So I don't know what prize she thought she got in Greg, but you already told on yourself, honey. You told Heavenly that Quad wasn't telling no lies about your husband while you was sipping down at the food spot. You already told on him, and you said it about Quad. He's like, Quad ain't, some stuff Quad said is kind of true. Yeah, girl. And she told you again on this stage, that dude is the same dude. He didn't get no work done. He ain't go see somebody like yourself. He didn't go see a doctor. You want to say, but he a doctor. It's his platform, but he needs to go see a doctor. Let's be clear.
I just, the jokes really write themselves when it comes to her, because again, on one hand, you're literally like you're constantly contradicting yourself here, and I'm just not understanding why some people are not seeing that. And the only thing I can think of is because y'all just truly don't like Quad for real. You're allowing that to dictate how you view this whole situation, when in all actuality, in reality, this is not a situation. Like the same people that are watching this that are like, it's all Quad and this is and have all these things to say, and I feel bad for Sweet Tea, she's the victim, I feel so bad for her, is the same people. It's the same people that just simply just don't like Quad for whatever reason. Y'all gotta stop letting those biases cloud your judgment in these situations, especially when this is the same man. The facts are the facts. This is the same man that said on that same stage, he admitted to putting his hands and harming that lady. So what are we really talking about here? And if the same thing was done to you in your life where there's no cameras, if you was down at your job and you and your coworkers and stuff like that were like championing to bring in your ex's new girl or whatever, you guys would not feel so comfortable and you guys would not be like down with that. Like, I'm done. Sleepy as country, as sleepy as
AF.
Feisty. I like, that was so hilarious to me. What is Beverly Hillbilly? Oh, I see ranting. It was a show.
Mm-hmm. That's all it was, a TV show, and just as hillbilly as they can be, but I guess it was like in Beverly Hills, like I guess black and white show. Something I saw it, but I never watched it. Like I never watched it to tell you like exactly what my mom used to watch it, but that's probably the only show I didn't watch with my mama. Like, what is this? Like,
so it translates to saying that a person is like just country AF, pretty much. Just it gets no more countryer than that. And
then, girl, you ain't even using your own reeds.
Let's get into that.
Girl.
So Sweet Tea says that Quad is watching her closely for with a magnifying glass, waiting for a moment. Quad says Sweet Tea wouldn't be here without her. And Sweet Tea's rebuttal is that Quad wouldn't be there without Greg.
Without my husband.
Without her husband. Let's stop there and marinate on that. Quad was in the medical device sales industry before she was even on the show and stuff like that. So we have to stop. Can we leave that in the past, please? Can we leave the whole that person's not a wife or that person's not exactly whatever the title of the show is? Because at the end of the day, that doesn't matter anymore. And if you're going to say that and apply that to Quad or whoever, you have to apply it. There's a whole textbook of people on this network and other networks or whatever that do not fall exactly in the lines of whatever you think it's supposed to look like. That's such an archaic insult, because there's so many housewives that are not the typical housewives, or we're talking about Married to Medicine. Not everybody is, yes, a surgeon or whatever, but they can be affiliated to the medical industry in other ways. So that's just like, what are we talking about here? And you're talking about, oh, you know, you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my husband or whatever. Like, who are you to say that? And even fast forwarding to, if you're meaning like presently, like now, like, actually, no, scratch that. If you're saying that you have a leg up more so than Quad because, you know, you're married to Medicine, you're with him, etc., whatever, she wouldn't be here without him. Y'all, like, are we really going to sit here and act like if we put Greg and Sweet Tea versus a Quad and a King, or a Quad and a Quad, if we're going to really sit here and compare the two and act like we would really much rather see fucking Sweet Tea and Greg on our screens versus Quad and whatever, I would rather watch a Quad detangle her wigs with her fingers than watch them on my screen. You cannot sit here and tell me you look at those people and you're like, goddamn, they would make some good TV. Let's get them on air right now. No, said no one ever. Like, maybe, yeah, if this was TLC, like a View of My Age Gap Marriage show, or like the Odd Couple show or some shit like that. But there's not, in no universe did anybody sit up there and say, oh my God, yes, this is great TV. No, the only reason why anybody thought it would be good TV is to bring the drama and to see people, you know, y'all basically go at it because now it's exes on a show and whatever. It was for the drama of it all, not because they saw you as the next best thing on TV. Get the fuck out of here. Like,
I think that's what Sweet Tea thinks. She thinks she is the next best thing that made it to TV since sliced breads. And let's be clear, you're only here, Quad, because of Greg. First of all, Greg being the doctor he is, he wouldn't even made it without Quad. He wouldn't have been on the show without Quad.
Exactly.
What doctor he is. It wasn't him. It was her. And everybody knows that. So don't use that. And T, you wouldn't be here if that wasn't your husband. You, T, would not be here if he wasn't your husband. So I don't know why you spewing these things, and especially at Quad. That is the wrong person to do that to. We didn't have any beef, right? So why are you talking to me? If she is talking to Greg, she is talking to Greg. That is her ex. Let them do it. You should have never said nothing to her. Y'all shouldn't have never said nothing, or kept it cordial when if you didn't kick her out of your bachelorette party, Bookie. if you was accepting gifts from her, because let's be clear, if you didn't want nothing to do with Quad, you would have said, you can take your little, thank you, but take your little gift, take your little stuff, and I'm good. You know, you're his ex, and I know we're on TV. They didn't even know I was going to do this, but I'm not going to do this. I can't do this. I can't be around you. You're his ex, and I'm just not comfortable. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you to leave. And then they would have probably did some other stuff to figure it out. But then at least you're standing on the two legs that you are on and saying, this is, I never really want to be around her. But no, you're such a fan. You're such a fan, number one, that You led Quad. You wanted Quad to be at your stuff. Even when they showed the picture of when they go back and they show Quad talking to her and said, I know Toya wants me to lick, and she's standing over her and the twin. Her and the twin's face is priceless. They're both looking up at Quad like, yes. Like literally, it wasn't like see, me and my sister, we wouldn't have been looking up at them at Quad like that. I wouldn't have looked at Quad like that.
I wouldn't have been on the show because at the end of the day, if my piece, I value my piece above any paychecks or anything like that. So there's in no universe would you be able to get me on a show and be like, okay, like I would never be in her position. It just wouldn't happen. You decided to come on because you're a fan and you were a fan. And going back to this comment,
you're a fan.
Quad has a degree in biochemistry and had a job in medical sales before and during the first 2 seasons of the show and still has connections. So she does fit the bill, in my opinion. And even fast forwarding to now, if we got rid of everybody, once again, if we got rid of everybody who didn't quote unquote fit the cookie cutter definition of whatever the show title is or whatever, that wouldn't make any sense either, because she still fits way more in this social circle than you do, because she has been around these ladies for the last 10 plus years. That makes so much more sense. That's more realistic. And that genuinely shows that there's genuine connections there, other than you're always over here talking about, you're the outlier. You're the one who's talking about, oh, I bring youthfulness and calling them grandmas and everything else or whatever. So you shouldn't even want to be amongst these ladies. You admit by saying that you don't fit in. So get the fuck.
But you're a walking contradiction, because your man is older than all of them. Well, not all of them. Not older than Jackie. But bruh, he older than your parents. Let's be clear. And so exactly. you shaming them, you are shaming your parent and your husband, because they're all about the same age. We're all about the same age, honey.
And I love how Quad was like, yeah, your man talks to you like
what did she say? Shit on the stick, baby.
Get used to it. I love that. I hope she caught that. Like get used to all the treatment and the way that he is handling you, because we both know that, like she said earlier on, the man don't change. You just swaps the women out. That's exactly what happened here, and you're gonna feel it. You feel it already.
Yes, she does, and she gonna eat those words. Remember, all she wanted to be is closer to the money. So yeah, you closer to the money. Since you got yourself closer to the money, does that make him a better dude? Because what, he can pay you, but he can talk to you like crap. He can pay your bills. Stupid. Speaking of
money, paying bills, I can't wait till we get to that part, because girl, you were so gone. And the best she could do, y'all, and you would think, like, this is not your first reunion, this is the second one. You kind of know a little bit what to expect. Y'all, you know where you're staying with these ladies or whatever. Why didn't you at least go on ChatGPT and try to come up with some better comebacks and some better reads and stuff like that? And the best you could come up with is a throwback Evelyn Lozada. You're a non-motherfucking factor.
Was that season 1 of Basketball Wives?
Something like that.
I think that was season 1 of Basketball Wives in Miami.
I think I was in high school with that. I've been out of high school for over 10 years now. So what are we talking about? Like, girl, who's more country? We already talked about that. The Rolls Royce. I forget exactly how that was brought up, but I know.
When she's
trying to package the validity of how she got her Rolls Royce, or it being legit.
She was like, allegedly. I said, ooh.
You have so much to say, just like you were the exact reason why shit jumped off at that pool party, non-pool party, because you wanted to call Quad again. Another example. You were so ready to call Quad a liar about having sex 15 times a week, but I thought you didn't know her. So then you shouldn't have shit to say about her. You shouldn't know her from a can of paint. You have to know somebody in order to call them a liar, or in order to call them out for whatever reasons. It doesn't make any sense. And I don't know how people aren't picking up on these inconsistencies with this girl. She's in over her head. And if you can't see it by this part 1, then you must have been watching this with fucking drunk goggles on. Quad is in the fertility process, though, thanks to she's working with Dr. Jackie on this. How do we feel about that? I mean, I want her, if she wants a baby, I want her to get exactly what she wants and stuff like that. I just, last time we checked, have they even figured out the whole living situation? I would think, and y'all, I'm not saying this because I think that everybody needs to be married. I don't think that at all. At all. Clearly there's some people that do not need to
not be.
Yes. But when it comes to Quad and King, it does seem like, obviously he's already said that there's a order to things, right? And I feel like I feel like there is some bit of like traditionalness that they're trying to uphold and stuff like that. So I would think, yeah, that they would have got married. Like, I don't know. And I still think that there is some different things that maybe you guys should, make sure you got on lock and whatever before you start that process. But again, if y'all like it, I love it. I can't tell her she's wrong for that. I just hope that this move is the best move.
As long as she go into it, I mean, any woman should always go into having a baby thinking about raising the baby by yourself. Even at my young age, even when I had my first kids, I was 19, 20 when I had my firstborn, and I still thought of it like it's still my baby. I take care of this baby. I mean, the dad is around. We live together and everything, but it still was like, he don't take care of this baby like I take care of this baby. He can't watch my baby. He can't, I mean, he could, but I wouldn't let him because it's my baby. Like, this is my kid. So literally, I because Quad is 42 or 43, and she's a woman of a particular age, I think she will be a great mother. I think she will be a great mother. And in the back of her head, I think she has it put in literally. I know she's in love with King and all that good stuff, but I think before King even got into the picture, I think she always wanted to be a mother, whether it was going to be with a person or not. King is a plus that he's there and everything, but I think I don't think she will live in the Lulu land where she's just like, oh, I just have to have King's baby and then we're gonna live happily ever after. I mean, of course, that's probably what she wants, but at the same time, I don't think Quad would wither away if it didn't work out between her and King. I think that she would be fine being a mom.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't think that wouldn't be a good. I do think she would.
Oh, yeah. And okay.
I mean, I'll even take it a step further than that. Like, even beyond even just having a baby, y'all, like, just in general, when you lay down with a person, no matter what, you should just know everything that could potentially come with that, and just be prepared for whatever could come of that. That's always just how I've always looked at it. In general, not even trying for a baby, but just knowing that this is more than just an orgasm. Like, things can come of this. So
big things, big things.
Life,
I have 5 big things
sometimes. I mean, that's obviously a whole different conversation, but
hey, Nicole.
Oh, sorry, I have my nose blocking. Hey, Jimmy. I don't see Yosemite Sam and T marriage lasting long because Sam doesn't think he is supposed to change. I pray that T sees her worth because she deserves better. Upgrade to Bugs Bunny. And that's a part of it too, where it's just like, I feel like she does see it, and she's just so ready to not be looked at like the fool or whatever, still somehow think that she's gonna flip this in her best interest. And it's just like, it's not happening. Just like Quad said, like, just get used to it. It's nothing with this situation is going to change, and you'd be a fool to procreate with this man.
I agree. Now, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, now, I want Sweet Tea to have children. Don't get me wrong. I do want Sweet Tea to have children and experience that because she wants to have children. I don't think it's a good idea for her to have a child with Greg for a few reasons. One, he's a lot older than you. He's older than your parents. Like, that for me right there is a dead, like, what? And both our parents are still alive too. That's just weird. But on top of that, like, literally, he's a man of a particular age. I feel like I guess he should have a baby with somebody that's young, but it's like literally go find somebody not close, a little closer to you, like closer to the 40s. I don't know. I just feel like he's in it for the wrong reasons, and she doesn't need to have a baby with him. Now, what is that saying? That's saying, do I want them to break up? I guess so, because I don't think that Greg. I think Greg is going to. He's not going to put his hands on her because I think Sweet Tea would rock his world. She's military too. I think she would rock his world real quick.
She's in the Air Force. It's not
okay, but I mean,
or anything.
Literally, she's to me. When I look at them two aesthetically, I just feel like she looks bigger than him. I don't feel like they. Yeah, I physically look at them like she just looks way bigger than him. She may not be. They might be. I mean, they might be the same height and everything, whatever the case may be. I don't know. It just the aesthetics to me look like she would rock his world. He just looked like he just gets off on talking. Boy, I've been to slap you dead in your mouth. Shut up, talking to me. Put some bass in your voice if you're gonna talk to me. Let your balls gonna have to drop because I don't want to hear that. I can't hear that. No, you are not a gnat. So put some bass in your voice. You better talk to me like I'm talking to you. You see how I got deep with I'm gonna need you to do that. Put some deepness in your voice, bruh. Stop talking to me like a fucking gnat. I'm sorry. Child, that's my favorite. I sent that to my dad and them. The little dance. Yes, I did. Of course, AT. I forgot to like it.
Way too much for me. It's just way too much for me. But directly following that, we get into Toya. Viewers are still trying to understand Toya and Eugene's dynamic. And what I'll say, which is the same thing I've always said, is that Toya and Eugene have a marriage that works for them. So I think that it would work for other people? Probably not. And that actually brings me back to earlier when Simone was talking about like her loving her job, and Toya was like, "Me too." I was like, "Wait."
I thought that was heavenly.
This is a job than being on the show. It was Toya, and I was like,
heavenly. Then that's funny.
It just makes me laugh whenever Toya talks about like work related things because y'all know. But anyway,
we got a wine company.
I mean, no, and this is a job for being on the show.
It is a job. And you're right. This is a job.
I get it. But the fact that she just hasn't ever really used her platform to like branch off and do other stuff is always kind of like, Anyway. So yeah, I think that, and y'all can let us know too what your viewpoints are as far as their marriage and stuff like that. I feel like we even saw that during their anniversary party and everything like that. I simply think that yes, they have something that works for them. I do think that they understand each other, and I do think that both of them are vocal enough to speak up and say like if it wasn't working for them or they didn't want to be involved in it, then I truly think that they wouldn't be involved in it. But I just feel like that's just a line of questioning that they'll never overcome because people aren't used to seeing, I guess, a couple communicate in the ways that they do, or just the way in which like Toya's sense of humor or just the ways that they talk to each other. I think is just kind of like, oh my gosh, for a lot of people because they don't, have that sense of humor. And she says she's like, yeah, I'm allowed to have eye candy. He's allowed to have eye candy. Like we just joke, and their banter is just very unique to them. And I understand that. So after that,
me and my ex was like that. Me and my ex were like that. My older kid's father, that's how we were. We were like, well, we were young too, but we like he would look at girls until he got like super disrespectful. Don't break your neck, but like I didn't care if he looked at no girls. Like look at who you want to look, because I'm looking at her too, and I'm looking at the guy. He fine, and I'm gonna tell you, like I literally like I can't help. I like pretty people. I do. I like pretty people, and pretty don't have to be an outside package. It can be somebody that's nice to me as well. So like I like pretty people, but I understand that because our dynamic was kind of like that. People used to look at us like, you do know he just said such was fine. I'm like, yeah, no, I know he said it. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I know he said it. Like, and I'm gonna get him back. Just wait till the next fine person walk by me. Guess what I'm gonna say to him? Damn, he's fine. But Chris was fine. My ex was fine too, so it didn't matter. I was fine. Like, we're fine. That's what I think about Toya. Toya's like, man, I'm secure with my man. he ain't going nowhere. And even that what he said to her for the anniversary, I was like, oh, he loved his wife. I love that so much. Like Dr. Eugene is my favorite house husband. Yeah. Out of everybody, I love Greg too. Rest in peace, Greg too. I like Greg too. He does.
I was like, what are you, Greg?
Greg. Yeah,
scared. Like, what Greg are you talking about? Oh,
yeah. Greg. He's one of I really liked him as well, but he was an older gentleman as well, so different. But as far as who was Yvette, this right here, did they move again? In my notes, I said, now here's my thing. When who was that? Simone said, and they're not renting no more. I'm like, didn't they build a house from the bottom?
One house.
And to the tutor. I know one of them.
They've done this one other time. They've built a house or whatever.
Yeah, but I was like,
just looking on her Instagram, I can't find, because they did. I knew this before the season aired that they were moving or built a house, whatever, bought a house. I can't find it on Instagram for some reason because that house looks fucking nice. So at least this move seems to be the best move because, I mean, hey, I'm a sucker for a nice closet and high ceilings and all those things.
A nice bathroom. I like the bathrooms too. I'd be like,
me too.
It look like a spa. My bathroom is nice. It's all right.
A nice chef's kitchen because Eugene down. Shout outs to them for that. People want Toya and Eugene to be miserable. That part. Eugene loves Toya's flaws and all, and she loves him. Their marriages, they only let one I like and respect on the show. Yes, it works for them because that's the thing. Everybody else has had little Jackie and Curtis. Freaking Simone and Cecil came back from.
They almost divorced. I mean, they separated.
Contessa and Scott. With these rumors that surrounding, although we haven't seen, the actual cracks, we've seen these rumors that have been swirling around, even heavily in Damon for all these years and stuff like that. So yes, I will have like the most stable marriage or whatever from what I see. I don't see nobody over there living on edge or, walking on eggshells with anything. So that's why I say they have something that works for them. Just like my situation, my marriage might not work for them and vice versa. And Cutie and vice versa. Like we all have in relationships, in marriages that work for us and not for the next person. That's why it's our relationship and our marriage. Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
And why you don't tell every time y'all have an argument to your friends and family, because you gonna forgive them, and then you can piss your family off with what you done told them. Like y'all know how it go. If you've been in a relationship, not to tell everything. And it's not for nothing about protection, but just other outside influences. Sometimes it's not good.
Yep, exactly. Toya says, and this is probably, I think this was the number one best thing that was said for me when Toya, she said whatever she said about the house, and she was like, well, at least I didn't move into anyone else's house.
It took a second for Quad to be like,
yeah.
I was like, you caught that, didn't you?
I caught it instantly, and I
instantly
fingers instantly got to tweeting it. I lived for that.
Toya was not playing with T.
Was on one. Shout outs to Toya from she's from Detroit, right? Yeah. Shout out to Toya from Detroit.
And before you go on, didn't her dress look better sitting down?
I appreciated.
I love the way the dress looks sitting down.
And we definitely can talk about that too. That the fashions for me, nobody's really shifted in my mind too much. So except for, I'm not exactly sure what was going on with Contessa. Contessa looked a lot better in those photos than she did on our screen.
I don't like this. I don't like this part of her rib page.
I don't really know what's going on with her. It wasn't giving as much in real time as what a lot of people have said. So, and I agree. Everybody else pretty much was the same. And I like Toya's look a lot better in action.
Me too. Yep.
I agree. Sweet Tea's response was that she does own her home and her name is on the mortgage. Pause. What the fuck is your name on the what? That's not the flex. I think she thought she was flexing. No, to have her name on a house, yes. Fully, My name is going to be definitely mortgage as in then that means that you're paying it too, or like then I was thinking maybe from a credit perspective, like maybe it's being used as to build a girl. What? I don't. Why? That's not. No.
It's a smiling too.
Like, why is that even paid off? Like, huh? I'm so confused. Like, what is going on over there with y'all?
Actually, Greg is pumping her head up, sister. Greg is pumping her head up. He is making her think something. I don't know what he is saying to this lady, but whatever it is, she is eating. She's drinking the Kool-Aid, y'all. She's drinking it up, and she's taking it to the bank, and that's why she thinks she can say to Quad, which you can't. And now you trying to talk mess to Toya, girl. Good luck. Toya don't play like that
at all, which is why she let it be known that she would have rather been seated next to anybody else but old girl right to the right of her. So of course that sparks them to begin to go back and forth. And Sweet Tea says when she first came on the show, Toya wanted her to go to war with Quad. Now, at the same time, I have to give it up in this case to, so I'm not going to say give it up to Sweet Tea, but I have to think that there might be some truth to that. Maybe she didn't say that verbatim, but, and this goes back to what I was trying to say earlier about did Quad and Toya have like any makeup sessions last season or whatever, because I do kind of believe that at the time, especially if they weren't in as stable of a place, because they never really are, Toya and Quad, in my opinion. I do see Toya kind of using that to as an advantage. And again, going back to the bachelorette party, Toya was more wanting to make sure Quad got up out of there, even more so than Sweet Tea, whose bachelorette party it was. So I can kind of see a reality where Toya was kind of like trying to use Sweet Tea's presence to her advantage as well. However, I don't, because Toya was like, I don't even talk like that. I'm like, yeah, maybe she didn't say it verbatim like that. I can see that, but I would also believe that Toya, maybe you were trying to use her to your advantage. I can see that.
Yeah, of course she was. Anybody, that's another thing. Like literally, if Quad and Toya are not in a good place, what do y'all think that she had any interest in T for?
And I would understand that. I don't agree, but that would make sense.
Toya has no reason, like we just said, if Greg ain't coming around Eugene, why are we looking at T? Why are we even thinking about T? We wouldn't, unless I know. I'm Toya. I know I'm not cool with Quad. And we could bring Greg back on, and I could be friends Sweet Tea. This could be good. I mean, like Toya could do that. I'm not saying she can't, but it would. I think it's more organic than that. I think it's more organic than her plotting, scheming, and Sweet Tea, you're dumb for thinking. You were instigating. What do you think she was gonna do? What, like literally, if you're the new wife, she knows the ex-wife, and they're not really that cool. And she's trying to be cool with you. Don't you think she's kind of sliding over there and gonna say shit that's gonna make you feel like, oh, she cool, we good. She don't even like his ex. She like
good.
Me.
We good. Anyway,
we good. We good. Be good. You good. You good. Y'all good.
She good. We good.
Yeah, Roddy did that. God, Roddy really shout out. That right there, I think I laughed. I think I had to pause it because I think I watched it later.
I go back and watch it.
I literally had to pause it and rewind. Like, no.
I watch that often. Shout outs to the cousin. It's Rodney the voice. I can't. Again, I don't agree with it. Y'all don't get me wrong. This is not, I wouldn't move like this, but I understand it because again, I still fully don't believe that a part of, maybe even more so with Eugene, I feel like, I don't ever see them being 100% just able to like get past everything. I think there's always gonna be a little tiny morsel in them that is like, you know, we cool or whatever, but I'm still not gonna be, you know, forget what you did. And when the opportunity presents itself like this to kind of use it at the time, back to last season, to use it to her advantage, Toya probably was like, yeah, I'm about to make this work for me. I get that. But again, Toya was like not owning that at all. She was like, "You're delusional," and
I think Toya is not probably lying, because we can clearly tell when Toya lying. She go, Shout out to Anderson Cooper.
yeah,
that was funny. Who looked better, me or Anderson? He said, "You pause." She didn't pause. She
Sweet Tea, though she's not letting up on it. She's like, you know, you said that we shared the same dick. Toya's like, you did. I was like, you did. I think we all unanimously were like, well, girl, you did. And Toya and Quad was like, ooh. And she's like, you know, you didn't. Toya was like, you didn't have a problem with me until you saw that Quad and I were cool. I also believe that too. I can't. At the same time, I also have to look at Sweet Tea like, girl, you were gullible AF if you really thought. Because in what world, even if they were genuinely, like, let's just think about this. Even if the ladies were genuinely welcoming to Sweet Tea and were like genuine or whatever, I'm not saying, y'all, that I think that that I ever want anybody to be fake, or that I want, you know, people to be just messy and dramatic or anything like that when I say this. But I have to think that even if I was Sweet Tea and they were welcoming me for real open arms, I would still look at them weird, because it's like, girl, wait, you were actually more than welcoming to me and willing to sell out your homegirl, though at the same time that you guys have been friends with for 10 years. I wouldn't even trust anybody for real that moved like that. I would be looking at them like, that's kind of weird. I mean, I appreciate, you know,
unless you did it like Phaedra did it, which was bring them two together. There's a difference though, and I'm not saying Phaedra was right. I know it's part of the show, but the fact that she brought them two together, like, that's the ex. You don't have a problem with her, or were you the new wife? You don't have a problem with her, then why can't we coexist? Even though Phaedra is
yeah, instead of
like, literally, there's a way if you was looking out for both the interests, there's a way that you can show that
instead of a straight up switch up, because then that makes me look at y'all like, I mean, if you don't see it for me for whatever reason in the future, then you switch up on me too. And that is exactly what we're seeing. So she should have never even been, she should have played it cool. If she was going to come on the show, she should have been like, you know what, playing it cool. I'm taking everything and I'm analyzing it. I'm not really going to sit here and be too much in people's faces or whatever. I'm going to just let people just reveal themselves how they do or whatever, and just play it cool or whatever. That's what she should have did, instead of being like, yeah, you know, yeah, they really like me and I really like them. We're gonna be best friends, and
all to turn around and say that they just used me. I was just a shiny penny to them. Girl, okay.
Quad's jealous
no,
of me.
It was a dull penny. Not it wasn't even shiny.
Just completely, just so stupid. We kind of touched on the bachelorette party before, which was brought up again in this moment, and this whole scene just ends with Simone getting up and kneeling in front of Sweet Tea, like coming to her as a big sister, because she sees her like about to just lose it because she's in over her head. Simone, sit the fuck down. Like, I was just
what are you doing that for? Do you think she did that to get under Quad's skin? Because why are you going over there to talk to this lady like that? First of all, and Toya is having a whole, they're having a whole back and forth. You get up and go kneel down in front of her and tell her, yeah, you know, sometimes this is not the battle. It's not the battle.
Yeah, it can be like more peaceful, or whatever she said is the opposite of going to war and whatever. I don't know. I don't know when it comes. Don't ask me any questions about Simone's motives. I don't know. I don't know. That lady is weird, and we're about to get into that. Even she just so paging Dr. Contessa. Last time we checked, Contessa and Heavenly, they had cleared up their issues, right? Well, no, not so much. And we see that actually we get back into a little bit of that during this final scene where Contessa still feels like Heavenly dogged her and her husband out. And Heavenly on the other side thinks that Contessa's issue is the things that she said, meaning that you put stuff out there, whatever. And the last thing I told you was to, if you want to stay in a situation or whatever, then shut it up, be quiet or whatever. And she was only answering questions that were asked of her. And Contessa says, well, my marriage is stronger than ever. And it's because after complaining and everything, it allowed them to go to therapy. And now they're in just, better space because they actually were able to work on this stuff or whatever. Okay. And Andy says, it sounds like, Heavenly, it sounds like you should stop talking about it in public. So, like, do you guys think that they are even? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Me, I'm honestly tired and sick of talking about it. And I think Contessa's another one too that, like, yeah, everybody's so quick to jump on the things that like Heavenly said or did or whatever, responded to. But I do think that, and I'm standing firm in that Contessa, no, you definitely put that energy and put that information, I feel like, out there by the things that you were indirectly and directly saying. And you just, you didn't like it when it came back to you because you had made that decision to stay in that situation. And I feel like, do I think that y'all are truly just so stable and just better than ever and stuff? No, I just think that you know how to like not open your mouth now, and you just are gonna be content and complacent in the situation, and you vowed to not leave it, even if that means living unhappy to some degree underneath it all. I think that you're just willing to stay in that situation for whatever reason.
The fact that she said that they need therapy goes back to what Heavenly was saying. Because if you had to, I had to complain a lot and tell him, after I was complaining enough, he went ahead and did therapy. But literally, that means that what Heavenly was saying, I'm not saying the abusive part, but something's not right in the marriage. And whether it is that she used the wrong verbiage, the word abuse is triggering. Maybe that wasn't the right word. But in her eyes, if that's what she sees, like how we see that Sweet Tea is being verbally abused by her husband, like we see it, we've heard it. It's the same thing. It's no different, Contessa, that Heavenly said what we're saying about Sweet Tea's husband. We are all seeing the same thing, and this is how we feel about it. Some people will disagree with us, but the majority is going to roll with us. The majority is going to say, yeah, he's not being the best husband, especially them being in a newlywed situation. They've been married just less than 2 years, so literally he's showing his butt already. Good luck, girl. And so I just feel like Contessa is, like they've been saying, she plays the victim a lot, and it is. It's like you want us to still be, oh yeah, she shouldn't have said he was abusive. Well, what she did notice is something's not right, and you was sitting there trying to say it was. Even though you complained to her, she said what she said, and now you got it fixed, and now y'all thing is better than ever. And as far as Andy saying, well, maybe you should stop talking about it. No, I have an opinion. Andy, you're not stop talking about what you're talking about on your show. So why would I stop talking on my show? I'm not hurting nobody's feelings. She don't like what I'm saying, change it. And she did. My point is, Heavenly's point is valid. Like, it's done, and you should be thanking her. You should have said thank you, because you helped me get my voice to say to my husband what I needed to say to him to get his behind in therapy. You might have used the wrong verbiage, but you did help me get me to the point where I'm at the place where I'm at. That's it. Move on.
Facts. Yvette said it's like Contessa thinks just because she had a season off that we don't remember all she said. Now blaming Heavenly.
Everybody's Delulu, Portia included. Everybody wants to act like the audience is going to forget. We don't forget. We recap and review and talk about it. That's what we do.
You know, Helion misses the relationship more than Contessa. Heavenly went too far in embarrassing Contessa and trying to shame her.
She did go far. I'm not gonna never say Heavenly did go too far.
You mean after, like, at what point? Huh?
Wait, you talking about
I'm saying when did she start to take it too far, Heavenly?
Well, I mean, literally for me, when it's one thing to say yo mama, and I get
you mean that?
Yeah, like literally when I feel like that scene was taken a bit far, and I get it. She just said your mama. It's the double down for me. It wasn't. But Contessa fell for it too. You talking about my mom who died and like when you do all of that, then you put more into it too. So she went into it. Y'all arguing. There's no holds barred when we're arguing. Like, I don't want to be called a B when we're arguing. I would never want Barb to call me out my name. We arguing and she say B woo wop wop, because I'm gonna remember that. It's gonna be a blemish, a scar. It's gonna affect our relationship. So this too, whatever you say, if it's your mama, if it's whatever you say, it's still hurtful to the person. Now, like, we all understand she didn't literally mean her mama, but we understand that's offensive to people. So don't do that. Go ahead.
No, I don't remember though what Contessa said something about Heavenly's family. She said something about her kids and Damon first, if I'm not mistaken.
In this argument?
That yes, at when they were at the freaking ranch place or whatever. He said something first to her, and then that's when Heavenly was like, your mama, whatever, blah blah blah. Like she threw out the family and kids or whatever, which we know husband.
Contessa did.
Yes, we know that is like the top people in Heavenly's life. That is probably the equivalent in her eyes to your the place in which Contessa holds her mom or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, in my eyes, Heavenly's probably like, well, it's up. She shouldn't have said that to me first or whatever. So I'm saying something even worse, or just as bad, if not worse or whatever. That's how I saw it. Now, I, on the other hand, like, I try not to even get to those places with people because, yeah, if we are arguing, then my mouth can be super reckless. So I would never try to, I personally would just try to back away and stuff like that. But like I said, if you already hurled something my way or whatever, then I'm going to hurl it back at you. And then then we're just going or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like I meant even before that, in between even in between originally what we keep saying, that little clip of Heavenly answering that question on her channel or whatever, and somebody asking her, did you think abusive, blah blah blah. I was talking about, did Heavenly take it too far from after that, in between that and this whole
you mean after that altercation and then moving on from that altercation, is this after something after that? Is what
you're gonna go back and watch that reunion? Yeah, I guess. I was like, I thought something crazy, like she was out here saying something beyond that. I don't think she said anything beyond that main thing. I feel like on the flip side, Contessa is we're about to say right now, this scene actually ends off with Contessa bringing up the whole Damon rumors thing again and stuff like that. And I feel like she keeps, like, she's the one that's like saying and bringing up other different stuff or whatever, when in all actuality, Heavenly's only, I feel like, just said and spoken from a place of, I'm just repeating the things that you said or whatever. She's not over here saying like, oh yeah, I caught you, I caught him cheating over here, and y'all were blah blah. She's not bringing up any more dirt, I feel like. And instead, Contessa's bringing up like all this other dirt and turning it into all these other things or whatever. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Ultimately, what I can say though is I'm not trying to talk about this no more. Either y'all gonna get along or you're not. We're not doing this for another season. I don't care that much. Contessa, you can leave again then if that's the case, because I don't care. I don't at all. It's old and it's tired. On her YouTube channel. And if Contessa would come back and say you're unalive mother, then she's wrong. Yeah, I mean, no, I hate that I just in general hate that it even got that far in general. And I think it's just ultimately shouldn't even gotten to these levels. And that's even more of the reason why too, I'm just like sick of talking about it or whatever. Cause I think that there's bad on both parts. I do think that, and that's more reason why y'all should just shut the fuck at it. It's just fun because we can sit here and play this game. We're gonna be able to play. I mean, even in this season where they made up or whatever, it all came down to them agreeing to not disagree. So it's just like, why do we keep rehashing this when we know we're not going to agree on it? We either going to still be on the show and try to be as cool as we possibly can, or we're going to be on the show and not be as cool as we possibly can, and that therefore BarbMeetsWorld is not going to be watching because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of talking about this between them.
Yeah, it is stale.
The only reason I'm not going over because is the way she treated Buffy at Toya's house. Oh, I'm not a Buffy fan.
But she treated Buffy at Toya's house. Contessa treated Buffy a certain kind of way. I can't remember now.
I gotta go back and watch.
I'm on the fence with Buffy. I liked her after the show. I don't know if I really liked her on the show. And she I mean, it was messed up what Dr. Jackie did to her, but I feel like she was like hanging on her too long. Like, and I'm not a person that never had children, and that don't affect me. So that's why I can't put myself in her shoes. I'm not saying that, but I'm an empath. So it like literally the stuff affects me. And I was affected when she did it in that moment. But Jackie also said, I'm like that too. She said, you know, I'm this way. And then she said that about Buffy. So it was like, she didn't just put you on blast. It was y'all both buried. Like she was saying it about both of them. So I just feel like Buffy just was like,
I get it.
With it. A little draining with it. But I started liking her when she got her own YouTube channel and stuff like that.
I share in the same sentiment though that I just was speaking to previously though. I can agree that that should have never been said. I do feel like in that situation one could probably think that maybe Jackie wasn't as apologetic and as genuine and sincere as she could have been, because I could believe that only because we've seen her Jackie be that same way with other things or whatever and with other situations. I feel like but again, ultimately though, this is still entertainment television, and I still don't want to I'm not going to keep having these same conversations or whatever. I'm just not going to do it. There's certain, I just, after like 2 seasons talking about the same thing, like I'm good on pretty much everything. And that goes for this franchise, other franchises, whatever, don't matter. Like I'd be tired. So that's kind of where I left off with this part one. Cause then again, like I said, Contessa then brings up like the Damon rumors once again. And I'm like, oh my God,
not to bring up rumors if you don't have no concrete evidence. I don't care what they're talking about.
Exactly. That's the only time you bring it up again is if you have the receipt in hand.
Receipt. Yeah, if you don't have a receipt, I don't want to hear how many people here have heard the rumor. Shut up.
And
shut up.
I can't wait to.
Nobody cares. Like unless you can show me, and you already know if it's out there in real time or real life, Dr. Heavenly's not about to help you out with it. She's not. She's gonna make you squeeze squeeze the rag to get all the juice out, because literally she's not giving it to you. And I don't know the way Dr. Heavenly is about Damon. I don't know. I hope not. But then somebody had said recently, oh, that was on the show. Which one of them said? Oh, I think it was Toya said. No, I heard that somebody on the show said that he asked the lady for a number.
That's the final thing I want to say is Simone, like, you know, I think Quad was like, I ain't never heard that. I ain't never heard that, whatever. Toya or Simone, I think, said it first that she heard that a woman, I don't know if the woman told her, she heard that a woman said Damon asked her for her number, and Toya says she's heard that rumor too. My thing is that I want to focus on with that is that, again, I mean, we know that Simone doesn't truly like Heavenly, and that it's just a convenience thing or whatever, that they're only really hinged. Jackie's a common denominator with them. I feel like and my eyes though, like that's the shit I'm talking about with Simone, is like, why would you, if we're supposed to be quote unquote cool or whatever, like, did you really just come out your face and say that? Like, and I can't wait to, when we're done with this, I can't wait to go back and finish Dr. Heavenly's live that she did or whatever, because she was just coming on, we were coming on, so didn't get a chance to watch that. I hope she addresses that then, because I'm just like, girl, this is why you don't, you better than me, because Simone, like, I feel like, you know, you've always felt like, okay, Simone really don't rock with you for real, but that was even more apparent when she said that, because it's just like, why did you need to say that? You could have just been quiet, even if you did hear it. So
no, it was a specific question, so the answer is yes or no. Not no, but I heard he did that. Like, literally, you did. It was. Have you heard he was cheating? Did you hear that he had a upside baby, or was it? Did you hear that he's been cheating? If there was a cheating thing, then okay, it makes sense. But if it was like, did you hear that about this rumor about this baby or baby crimes or anything? I don't know if of course they didn't say this verbiage. I'm just saying I don't remember how the question was posed. If the question was posed, did we hear that he has another baby? That's a yes or no answer. If it was posed to her, if he cheated, then I can understand. She said, no, this is what I've heard, though. I can see it like that. But I don't know. I just feel like we've watched so many doctor shows that, you know, in the doctor shows, they always is on call, sitting in there, and they be doing stuff in other rooms.
Simone in that moment, like, she's so, and I feel like I'm going to continue to just be over Simone in the next two parts, because she always,
she's like, on my nerve.
She's my least favorite person, even more than, well, I don't really count Sweet Tea. Like, I just feel like she just generally shouldn't be on the show or whatever. But I talk about the people that are really staple people on the show that I don't like. It's Simone. She always brings me there in every single moment.
I would say she's my least favorite too.
Yeah, and yeah, I think that also is what it comes down to too for me, is that even if we do figure out and do find out that Damon has stepped out on Heavenly or whatever, she's not going anywhere. So, like, which is my main thing with this. And going back to Contessa, if we're going to stay in this situation, then whatever. Like, then there's nothing to talk about or whatever. If you're going to be mad, and you know, it's the ones that still want to keep talking about stuff or whatever, but they're not putting no action to it or whatever. It's either shut up and move on, or stay and get away from me with that. And Heavenly's situation, though, we know that she wouldn't leave or whatever. So it's like, why do we even need to waste our energy trying to figure out this stuff? And I get it. Like, if it's good for one person or whatever, if we dig into everybody else's stuff, we need to be able to dig into hers. Like, I get that or whatever, but it's just like, she's not ever going to be cooperative in doing that. And I just feel like,
so is that why we're talking about teeth now?
Okay, so thank you for that. Okay, so directly following this, then we got to move on to social media, and I didn't notice this, but
wait, before you even say what you didn't notice, I literally noticed the whole time.
You did?
Literally, yes. I am a teeth person. I love
me too,
I know you are too. I know you are, sis. But there was two things that were concerning to me. One was her chest plate, all her ribs showing. My eyeballs kept going right to that. I don't care how plump the breast that around it. I'm like, Contessa, don't ever show your chest plate like that no more, because I'm gonna think something's wrong with you. So don't do that. Like, I don't care what the dress look like. Don't let that thing dip like that. I don't like the way that looked. But literally, I kept looking because my son, my oldest son, is 30. And this is the reason why I'm looking. This is the reason why I'm saying this. My son is about to be 30 next week on Tuesday or Wednesday, and his 4 teeth that she have right there. 4? No, I don't think it's the 4. It's 2. His the first 2 teeth that you get right there. My son has his baby teeth. He didn't have teeth underneath his gums that grew. The permanent teeth were not there. So my son has baby teeth there. So if you look at his mouth, it looks like it's discoloration, but it is because they're his baby teeth. They're 30-year-old little bitty teeth that is in his mouth. They're just little, and they're smaller than the next teeth that come up. But yeah, when he went because he had braces, my son we wore braces. That's how we found out he had no teeth that came at the bottom underneath the gum. So when I saw hers, I was like, "Do she got baby teeth?" So I walked up on my TV, like literally, I walked up on my TV. I said, "Oh no, she just got like discoloration." I was like, "Oh, maybe." I said, "Maybe those are her baby teeth," but I was like, "No, all her teeth look the same size." My son's
teeth. I don't know. Yeah. That's not the way they're supposed to be.
No, they're not supposed to look like that. But yeah, go ahead. Now we can talk about it because I literally saw it. So my auntie had passed on Monday, so I didn't really which was yesterday. So I really didn't get online and see too much yesterday. So today when I watched and saw this, I was like, okay, I saw the team. I was like, I didn't know this was a thing, but I did notice it. Okay, sis, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't see like Heavenly. I know I need to be worried about my man asking for numbers, but this is all I'm worried about. Pray for me. Hashtag smiles by Dr. Heavenly. Hashtag she's delusional, but I'm very happy for her. Marriage is better. She took my advice and it worked. I like I said, I didn't catch this. But
even this part of her nose, I've noticed that like usually you make it lighter on the tip of your nose, and I look at her. They make it darker right here, and her nostrils are lighter. I like literally I look at all of that.
Doing their nose contour right, and it really upsets me and my homegirls. I just but and in the same breath though, and I think I have the on the flip side, people were more so coming for Dr. Heavenly than in that same breath because, and shout outs to Millie Chan, because she actually posted this. If I can share my screen, come on. They said that Heavenly actually, in all actuality, with her being a dentist, she should be more concerned with, wait for it.
Whoever did this should have sent this to Contessa. But go ahead. Like, y'all should have let Contessa hit this one up.
I mean, she might have reposted it or something if because that's just wild to me. On the other hand, like I never noticed Damon's teeth either. Like I guess he
don't talk enough, and he's so quiet talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
he doesn't talk a lot.
He don't open his mouth real big.
It's not like I'll be paying attention, but as you see, it looks like his bottom teeth are in a fight for their lives. So a fight for the first place, but. So people from there were just more so concerned with the fact that she's a dentist and now her husband's running around like this. My thing is, I just feel this about everybody. Is if you have access to having your teeth look a certain way and proper oral maintenance, then you should want to do that. At the same time, if there's a difference between not having good oral hygiene practices and just having crooked or whatever, not aesthetically pleasing looking teeth. If ultimately if he's taking care of his teeth, they just look like this, then that's a different story. But at the same time,
ain't nothing but some braces though. Ain't that?
That's what I'm saying. With me being a dentist, oh no, like because but that's more so because I just really like teeth are like a major thing for me. Like I like I'm attracted to a nice set of pearly whites. So for me, if I was her, no, we would have been got that together. But and in Contessa's case, she's a beautiful woman. So I don't know why she's walking around like that. That's not even cute at all.
I wonder how long it's been like that. And like I think it has something to do with the way the dress was, the color of the dress, and the way she was sitting, the way the light was hitting. But yeah, I did notice it. I did notice it. I literally was like, I got off my bed and went to the TV like, yeah, that's just motivation for sure.
Now I'm not gonna be able to unsee any of this.
No, that's what was the worst thing. So just imagine, I saw that in the beginning, and every time they show Contessa and her talking, that's all I did was go right either to her boob area or right to her teeth. Just like I hate it for me. I hate it for me because I can't, like you said, I can't unsee it. So that's why I said, please don't wear no shirt like that no more. And when they showed her in the confessional, she had a shirt that was kind of tight. I was like, yeah, your boobs you look perfect. Like, but when I see, I can count your rib cage looks like Jackie's rib cage. That's not good. That's not good. I ain't like that.
No, but yeah, y'all. I mean, again, I definitely enjoyed this first part. I feel like there was a lot of jabs in there that I really clued in on and enjoyed. I'm eager to see where we're going next in this next part with the husbands joining and stuff like that. I hear this is when it gets really spicy. I don't think that we get any like spoilers or anything for or sneak peeks of the reunion. I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think they gave us what they gave us in the, and when they dropped the trailer, it was like, okay, this is what y'all gonna get. Y'all don't know what order's coming in, how it's coming in. We got a little bit of those, some of those trailer pieces in this first one. So yeah, I'm excited to see when the guys come out because literally that's when we're gonna get, I think the ladies will be in the back, and that's how we get Quad and Simone going at it, which I'm going to probably be really pissed off at Simone. I'm already feeling myself.
I know
that way with her, she's gonna piss me off. And she's sitting there, especially when she said something to the fact, that's why and even Sweet Tea was sitting right there. She's saying, that's why we started kicking it with Greg and Tea. Girl, I will elbow you right now. Girl, what?
I can't
so
stand
you're telling me you used us because she wasn't your friend? Y'all better check Simone. Simone be saying stuff and people don't be paying attention to what she's saying with her big ass mouth.
I don't know why. I clue into everything she says. I think she's just very vindictive, and I know I've said this before. She just I can't,
because she got not like that, but she got the son, she got the husband. She's the only woman in the household, so she puts her foot down and she, what she say kind of go. And girl, we already noticed that your boys do not clean up behind themselves.
Exactly.
They don't do shit, so they haven't been listening to you. So your foot means nothing.
You should be more concerned with making them their whole dirty ass house situation than you are with all these other things and to keep being on Quad's neck for no reason. That's what she should be paying attention to. But anyway,
better hope she don't get no lazy daughter-in-laws too. And let me knock on some wood for her because I might speak something into existence. So you know how I do. I don't even mean to. So let me not say that. But child, I'm just saying, like, they do too much. I'm gonna give you a condo. You ain't got to pay me no rent. What?
That would be spotless. I wish.
Oh man.
Here, I wish. Oh my God.
My parent would walk in there. They would have to take their shoes off, or bring them doctor shoes home with you, mommy. Because put the doctor shoes on over your shoes. You can walk in my house, but my house is immaculate. Man. Oof,
I would be living the dream for real if I had those types of accommodations. But
they are living the dream. You see what their house look like? They are partying and having a good old time, child.
It couldn't be me. I don't do dirty. But yeah, y'all, I enjoyed this. Definitely enjoyed talking about this episode with my sis and with you all in the chat. And, collectively we have 60 people watching. So make sure, I would love to see that translate to 60 likes, to 60 subscriptions, et cetera, et cetera. I know that the same for my sis on her channel. So yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things, y'all. And I mean, we'll be back for part 2. That's all I got. That is all I got. So yes, y'all, we will see you next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.